The body might stay still, but energy keeps moving. And where that energy goes after intimacy, that's where the truth hides. He might never say it out loud, but his actions after those intimate moments, they whisper what words won't. He can't fake that part. You don't need to ask him how he feels. You just need to listen quietly to what his energy reveals in the silence. That's when the mask falls away. That's when the real language begins. But before we dive into this, I want you to do something for yourself. Tap that like button, hit subscribe, not just because it helps the channel, though it really does. I pour my heart into these words. But more than that, because this space, this message is for you. Your power, your truth, your peace. If you're tired of overthinking and ready to finally read what's real beneath the words, this is your place. Now, stay close. I've got you. Picture this. You're standing outside a house at night. Inside, a fire has just been lit. Warm, golden, alive. From the outside, you can see the glow. But now that the flame is burning, does he stay close to it, or does he wander into the dark? That's the moment that counts, not what he says during the heat, not the fireworks, the tension, the sweet words. It's what he does when the spark settles, when the lights dim. When you're both lying there in that still moment, no roles to play, no lines to say, just energy, raw, unguarded. Because here's the lie we've been fed, that you can tell how much he cares by how passionate he is in the moment. That if he kisses you long enough, holds you tight enough, it must mean something. But listen, lust shouts. Love, it lingers. And a man who's truly connected to you, he won't slip into silence. He'll stay in it. You don't need to chase his words. You just need to watch what he does. Does he lean into you? Or does he check out emotionally? Does he reach for your hand or for his phone? Does he sit with you in the quiet or run from it? Carl Jung said, the body expresses what the soul cannot say. When the moment ends and there's no more pretending, that's when the soul starts speaking. Some men talk through flowers. Others promise the world. But the man who's truly invested, he speaks through his presence. He doesn't just hold your body. He holds your essence, your being. So stop falling for noise. Start listening to what stillness reveals. And here's something fun to remember. You might be more intuitive than you think. You've probably been picking up on energy your whole life, but second guessing yourself. That ends now. From here forward, trust the whisper more than the performance. Because it's never been about the words. It's always been about what the energy does when the lights go out. Say this with me, out loud, wherever you are. I trust what energy shows me. I don't chase clarity. I draw in truth. I am the mirror, not the noise. I am unforgettable. Type those words in the comments if they touch something inside you. Write them not just in text, but into your soul. Because that energy, that knowing, that is your power. The moment you own that power, you stop needing to wonder where you stand. Because your energy, it makes everything else pause. Everything waits for your presence. Keep going. We're about to go deeper. It's not about what he says, it's about where he stays. A man's presence after intimacy speaks louder than any sweet word whispered in the dark. What matters is where he stays when the heat fades. Because words can be practiced, but stillness reveals everything. Any man can talk sweetly when your skin's warm and the lights are soft. But what does he do when that moment passes? When the performance is over? Let me show you what I mean. Imagine a sunset. Calm, glowing, beautiful. You're watching it on a quiet beach. The sky's golden. It's breathtaking. But once that sun slips beneath the horizon, most people leave. They came for the thrill, not the peace that follows, but the rare ones. They stay. They sit in the quiet. They breathe in the stillness. They don't need the fireworks to feel the beauty. That's the kind of man you're watching for. You've been taught to focus on what he says when the lights are low. You've been trained to read tension like a script, to analyze every sigh, every glance. But the truth comes after, when the high fades and his heartbeat slows. Does he lean closer or does he pull away? And maybe right now your mind is whispering, what if he's just tired? What if I'm being too much? What if I expect too much? But here's the truth. Presence isn't about being perfect. It's not about dramatic moments or grand speeches. It's about quiet consistency. It's in the way his eyes linger, in how his breath lines up with yours, in the way his hand doesn't rush to let go. You want to know if he's truly connected. Don't look at how hard he clings during the high. Look at how softly he stays after. Because a man who only came for the climax, his energy leaves before his body does. But a man who feels something deeper, he treats that silence like it's sacred. He won't rush to fill it. He won't grab at distractions. He'll just be there, fully present, completely yours. That's where most women get confused. Because we're told love is loud, that it's big gestures and blazing passion. But the real kind of connection doesn't shout. It surrounds, it sinks in. If his presence is calm but close, if he feels like peace and not a show, that's your answer. Let his energy speak. Because presence, that's the true love language. Not emojis, not love songs, not late night texts. It's how he sits next to you when there's nothing to perform. So don't ask him how he feels. Watch where he rests. Because a man who's emotionally involved doesn't vanish when the moment ends. He deepens into it. And if right now you're starting to see the difference between someone who touches your body and someone who reaches your soul, then you're already ahead. Say this with me and drop it in the comments. I choose presence over promises. I read the stillness. I deserve a love that stays. Say it. Own it. Ground it in truth. That's how you rise above the confusion. That's how you stop hoping and start knowing. Stay close. We're going even further. The body doesn't lie. Even when his mouth is silent, his body speaks. It always does. It's too honest to fake, too deep to pretend. Carl Jung said, the body expresses what the soul cannot say. And that truth hits different after intimacy. Because once the room is quiet and the lights go low, when there's nothing left to act out, his body tells the truth. His ego won't speak. Watch carefully. His hands, they look for you or fold away? His eyes, do they drift into space or stay on you, even in the quiet? His stillness, is it tense or soft? A man who's truly connected doesn't shrink away after closeness. He softens. His shoulders relax. His breath slows. His energy doesn't scatter. It settles. Because being near you didn't just satisfy him, it grounded him. Think about fire. When it's burning, it's fierce and loud. That's passion. But once the flames calm down, what matters most is the heat that remains in the coals. Does the warmth stay, or does everything turn cold the moment the flame fades? There are no shades. There are no boundaries. There are no times. Parts stay, parts stay. It centers center. There's no time frame, and there is no... This is what many women overlook, because we're trained to read words, not energy, to focus on what's said, not what's felt. But the body carries the truth. A man might say, "I'm just tired," or "That was amazing," with a smile. But if his chest feels tight, if he turns away, if his presence flickers like a fading light, your heart already knows the answer. He can't fake alignment. His body tells the real story. Some of you might wonder, what if he's just not expressive? Sure, not every man shouts his love. Some love in quiet ways. But presence has many forms. Sometimes it's a gentle hand resting on your hip. Sometimes it's the slow blink of his eyes while looking at your face. Sometimes it's not what he does, but what he doesn't rush to do. A man who's really connected doesn't feel the need to fill every silence. He feels safe in it. And that right there is your sign. So keep this close to your heart. Words can impress, but energy always tells the truth. Stillness speaks louder than promises. And the body, it never forgets what the soul once felt. Stay close, because what we're about to explore next might shift something inside you. There's one small question a man asks after intimacy that reveals everything. It's the line between emotional presence and emotional escape. Does he check in or does he check out? A real man won't just hold your body. He'll hold space for your soul. Let that settle inside you for a moment, because this next piece, it's where the mask comes off or stays on. After intimacy, when everything is stripped down, no more roles, no more distractions. There's a window, a small one, and inside that moment, you'll see it clearly. Does he reach toward you or pull away? It might be something small, a glance, a soft touch, a quiet question, but it's everything, because the man who is really there with you, heart, mind, and body, doesn't just turn his back the moment it's done. He doesn't roll away and go silent. He doesn't hit pause on connection just because the physical part ended. He checks in. He stays present. How are you feeling? Was that okay for you? Do you need anything? It's not a routine. It's not politeness. It's instinct. That's not him being nice. It's him being real. It's him tuned in to your experience, not just his own. Because intimacy, true intimacy, isn't just about bodies touching. It's about energy shared, connection felt. A man who's emotionally aware isn't thinking about his to-do list. He's still there, still with you, in the softness, in the silence. You might be thinking, but what if he's not the emotional type? What if he's just quiet? Let me tell you this. Emotional presence doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't need long speeches, just intention. Checking in might be one sentence. It might even be a whisper. But the feeling behind it, that's what matters. That's how care moves. That's how you know. It's untension, real, simple attention. It's him saying without saying, you still matter, even now. But if he doesn't check in, if he emotionally vanishes the moment it's over, then love, he may have touched your body, but he never reached your soul. You deserve someone who doesn't treat intimacy like a finish line, but a doorway. Someone who doesn't vanish into silence, but sinks deeper into connection. It's not about getting everything perfect, it's about being present. If you've ever laid there afterward wondering if it was real, this is your clarity. Because real love checks in. Fleeting interest checks out. Say it with me and type it in the comments if you feel it. I deserve a connection that checks in. I deserve care that moves without needing to be asked. Now stay with me. We're about to go deeper into the emotional wiring behind these actions. What really happens to a man's nervous system when he feels safe? How do you know when his emotional guard is finally coming down? Because intimacy isn't just physical, it's deeply psychological. When a man lays his body beside you, it means he's opening up. But when he lets down his guard afterward, that means he trusts you. This is where it gets real. After sex, when the noise stops and the room is still, something happens inside a man. His nervous system either relaxes into the moment or it tightens back up. The masculine mind is built for control, protection, always moving forward. But after closeness, when his energy drops back to neutral, he hits a crossroads. He either opens up or shuts back down. Some men retreat quickly. They feel too open, too raw, so they pull away fast. You'll feel it. He becomes quiet, picks up his phone, talks about random things, or just goes cold. That's not because of you. That's his own inner wiring. Because for him, intimacy cracks something open, and now he's unsure if it's safe to keep it open. But when a man feels safe with you, really safe, he doesn't close. He softens. His voice lowers. His breath slows. His guard drops. And the real parts of him start to show. He starts to share things he never planned to. Old memories, hidden fears, dreams he doesn't tell just anyone. Even little things, like how he sleeps better with one foot outside the blanket. It's not just small talk. It's trust leaking out quietly. He might suddenly say, "I've never told anyone that before." That's not nothing. That's everything. That's a man placing his heart in your hands. Because here's the truth. Any man can get undressed with you, but not every man can be emotionally bare. The ones who can, they're not just chasing your body. They're craving your witness. They want to be seen and still accepted. That's the true test. You don't need a man to pour out poetry. Just watch him. Notice, does he open or shut down? Does the silence feel calm or pressured? Does the energy settle or scatter? And if after closeness, he says things like, "We should go there sometime," or "You'd love this place, I used to go," listen, he's inviting you into his story. That's not performance. That's placement. He's imagining you in his world, even if it's quiet, even if it's brief, that's real. So hear me clearly. The way he talks after intimacy, that's how you know he's safe. And when he feels safe with you, he doesn't pull away. He leans in. Say this with me and write it in the comments. I deserve a love that deepens. I hold space, not pressure. I offer safety and I receive it in return. Now stay with me. We're about to uncover something even more telling than what happens during the night. We're going to talk about what happens the day after. Because a man who's truly hooked, he doesn't just leave you in the sheets. He stays in your world. Let me know when you're ready for the final section, where we explore how a man echoes you in his life and what truly makes him return, not from need, but from soul level. I am the calm he didn't know he was looking for. I am not here to perform. I am peace. Let him be drawn in. I will not chase. Stay close, because what comes next is the moment he stops just enjoying your presence and starts protecting it. Not with big speeches, not with fancy promises, but with actions that quietly show he's no longer just interested. He's becoming invested. Watch what he guards. When a man starts holding your heart like it's something precious, that's not lust, that's something lasting. There's a shift that happens, soft, easy to miss, But once it shows up, you'll feel it. That's when he starts treating what you share like it matters. Not protectiveness like jealousy, not control. I'm talking about careful, gentle awareness of the space between you both. A slower pace, a softer touch, a sense that he's not just there for pleasure. He's fully present now. He doesn't treat your emotions like they're delicate. He treats them like they're real. He doesn't treat your body like a prize. He sees it as sacred. Not because you made demands, not because you gave warnings, but because something in him knows this isn't casual anymore. Lust wants the moment. Real love wants to keep it safe. Love wants to protect, not possess. What it builds with you, your peace, your safety, your trust. He may not have said it yet. He may still be figuring out what this thing is between you, but his energy already knows. It's already adjusting. He'll ask if something felt good, not to be praised, but because he genuinely wants to know you were okay. He'll slow down. He'll check in. He'll make small changes, not to impress, but because he respects you. You'll see it in the details, in how he remembers what matters to you, in the care behind every small thing. That kind of man isn't just showing up for a moment. He's showing up for meaning. Even if he hasn't used the word relationship, you'll feel how he honors the connection. When he listens more closely, remembers that you were nervous last week, touches you like you're more than just a body. That's not a game. That's real. That's not performance. That's legacy. Say this now and feel it in your bones. I attract connection that honors me. I deserve care that speaks without words. Protect the bond or don't come near it. Now stay with me, because we're about to go into the deepest part. The part no one talks about. The one that speaks louder than any label. Louder than any I love you. You don't need to ask where you stand. His energy already told you. The truth never comes through words first. It always shows up in energy, in how present he is. In the stillness most people skip over while trying to read between the lines. You don't need to chase answers when your body already felt the truth in his silence. When his nervous system already gave you the signal your heart's been waiting for. You don't need to ask, what are we? If that question still lingers after all that closeness, then something important is missing. And it might not be the label, it might be the connection itself. Stop scrolling his status, start reading his stillness. After intimacy, does he sit there quietly with you? Does he breathe easy, like he's finally at home, not like he's trying to leave the moment? That's your answer. Stop overthinking his nerves. Watch his choices instead. Does he follow up? Does he follow through? Does he linger? Not because he has to, but because your presence settles him. A man who's emotionally present doesn't need a title to treat you with intention. He doesn't need to say, this is love, to behave like it is. You'll see it in how he gently adjusts your pillow, in how he keeps holding you, not to own you, but to protect the connection you just shared. You won't need to chase clarity from a man whose energy already gave it to you. But you'll get the clarity. You just need to stop ignoring what your gut has been saying all along. So here's the deepest truth. If he stays present when the moment ends, if he checks in afterward and follows through on his energy, if he speaks softly and with care, then you don't need to ask if he's hooked. You already know. Let that truth rest inside you. Let it echo quietly through your chest. If something inside you sparked, if something whispered, I'm done second guessing, then anchor this truth in the comments like a promise to yourself. I trust what energy reveals. I don't guess anymore. I know. I attract love that speaks through stillness. Tap that like button if this stirred something in you. Subscribe if you're ready for more truth, the kind that doesn't play small or talk around the point. This space, it's for women who don't want love that fades. It's for women who are ready to be remembered, not just for how they looked in a moment, but for how their presence felt long after the moment passed. Stay radiant, stay rooted, and I'll meet you in the next one.